Hello, welcome back to a new screen recording video. This one is about this new series that I launched called Aesthetic Systems. This came about as for years I've been categorizing, collecting imagery to inform my work in a way that is not just mood boarding and not just for the vibes, but just more understanding how images connect and follow a logic and become like an aesthetic in themselves or almost a movement. It depends. Some are bigger than others. Anyways, so I had all of that sort of material and research and started this series. The first one, Aesthetic Systems 1, is Bratty Quote. You can go check that one as well. But so Techno Surrealism, this is number 2. It's heavily connected to the research and report that I just launched on AI Slop potentially becoming an intentional aesthetic. So yeah, techno surrealism. Not sure about the name. It's not very original, but it says what it is basically. This artist, Iman Friel, is so amazing. He's an AI artist. I don't know if that's what we're calling people that use AI for their art, but I love it. It's so great. And so, what is techno surrealism? I feel like this will definitely evolve in the next year and years and maybe decades. But this is where we are at now and how I make sense of it. So it's mainly from AI generated imagery, uncanny visual narratives, and soft CGI aesthetics, which I think CGI aesthetics is like the predecessor of like the AI slop of now. Um the feel it gives is like hyper detailed but at the same time emotionally detached. It's kind of hard to put into words visual stuff, so that's why I really like this exercise. And what it does is that it constructs these like synthetic worlds um, that are like unfamiliar, and I put like subtly destabilizing. And I think that's why people are getting hooked to like the slop. Obviously, techno surrealism has more of a visual proposal and an aesthetic, and is more research and more artsy than just slop in general. But you know what I mean? It like hooks you because you're like, it's just weird. And there's something like, there's almost something satisfying from looking at these visuals. Condition of emergence. It emerges from a widespread access to generative tools, obviously, real time rendering and image synthesis. It assumes a culture fluent in artificial imagery, one that no one longer treats fake as a failure, but as an aesthetic position. Um, so that's what I think. Like techno surrealism isn't everything done with AI, obviously. So through my examples, I think you'll get it. But this first video, to me, it's beautiful. I think there are recurrent scenes in this aesthetic system, which is one of them is things underwater. So in this case, it was like playing piano underwater, but you'll see cats underwater, like just a lot of things happening underwater that like are not feasible in the real world. This artist I love, like I've been seeing a lot of their stuff. I don't know, No Way recordings. A lot of these creatives and creative assets and art is a bit difficult to track down because I feel like a lot of profiles are like reposting it. So yeah, but I really like this one. I love that it's self-referential, like the slop, and it's AI slop, quote unquote. The colors to me are so beautiful. And then I put this here because this is a Nesty ad from 1999, and it just looks like techno surrealism made with AI, but it's obviously not. Yeah. Removing the sound in case of copyright. Um, I don't know, it's a bit like video gamey also, but it's so nice visually and kind of satisfying as well. Apparently the girl is a famous actress, I think people were saying in the comments. And then this is like, I guess, another little side of this system. So these are like AI gen characters. They're like TikTok creators basically. And they just, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. Quite interesting. And then, so every post has the same structure, by the way. So then I tried to explain the visual logic. So how the system is like held together and like the organizing principles, like the image source. So AI Gen in this case, mainly the aesthetic tones. It's uncanny and emotionally distant. The environment, so liminal spaces, impossible architecture, disproportions, artificial landscapes. It's kind of hard to do this part because if you add too much, it it's not a thing anymore. Lighting, AI veneer, pixelation, bright contrast, and definitely exaggerated. Detail, excessive precision paired with wrongness. I don't know, I chose that word and nothing's wrong really and nothing's right really, but you know what I mean. It's a little bit odd and not the way it's supposed to be. Human presence, stylized, idealized, and slightly off. Um, so, what the system produces when you sort of activate techno surrealism, you get visually striking synthetic worlds, narrative without clear authorship or association. I think this is so interesting, and like if you further develop into this, it will become more of a philosophical sort of analysis. It's quite interesting, just sort of the emptiness of it, and it's so empty that maybe it's not anymore, kind of thing. Anyways, emotional ambiguity, which is connected, a sense of technological omnipresence, and images that feel future coded without being utopian. So this might be like a new representation of what the future is gonna be like. I don't know. Um, what it's useful for. This is the part where I connected more to how it informs work. So I'm gonna use these aesthetic systems. So techno surrealism is effective in contexts where innovation, disruption, and futurity need to be communicated without optimism. Um, I feel like nobody really wants to do that just right now, but it might get to a point where like brands are gonna have to do. Which I guess is scary for businesses because the whole point of them is like not being negative. But there is a conversation around like transparency, that is like a very like it's an increasing one. And if that's what the consumer wants, then why do you need to force like fake optimism down their throats? So, tech and AI branding, the obvious one, fashion and beauty campaigns exploring artificiality, music and visual projects with digital identities that are like strongly digital, so maybe this could match, speculative or conceptual storytelling, brands positioning themselves as post-human, post-natural, post-authentic. So, yeah, I think this is not something that is happening right now, but it might happen soon. And then system relations, so like adjacent systems, digital maximalism, space aesthetics, post-internet surrealism. I think this can like grow. Shared mechanics, so simulation, artificial realism, emotional distance. And the contrast system that I thought of was, and the contrast system that I could think of was skeuomorphism, which is what happened when like the best example of skeuomorphism is like basically Apple and the iPhone and how the design was made to be like so replicating of the world and easy for people to use. Uh, but maybe I should be reading a definition. So yeah, that's aesthetic systems number 2. It's being published later on today, but by the time I'll publish this video, this will be out. Hope this was a useful video and this is a useful new series for every creative, strategist, even maybe sociologist, or just people that are curious and interested in these types of topics. And yeah, comment with your own POV opinion and if you think I missed some points. And I'll see you next time for a new video.